Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany Johnson. This is for my case study 3 for SPCE 611. For case study 1, I reviewed a client who has a bit of emotional regulation issues going on that we saw. So some of the things that we saw was failure to communicate that he was all done playing the game or that he did not like what was going on in the game. So one of the challenging behaviors that we discussed was tantrum behavior. So a tantrum we defined as any instance in which the client cries, whines, drops. Any of those or in combination for over 10 seconds. And it is tracked once it is hit, once he has remained calm for 30 seconds. So an example would be if they are playing tag and he gets tagged, and instead of running after someone, he drops to the ground and starts crying. 10 seconds into that crying, we're tracking the behavior, and we will end it once he returns to calm. A non-example would be they're playing, he falls off the play set and begins to cry. That is not going to be tracked as a tantrum. That is a basic human reaction. So that is one of the behaviors we will discuss. So for his skill acquisition for case study 3, I want to implement a program in which he announces that he's all done with the game independently over the course of 5 days, twice a session, when interacting within a peer social activity. So in order to do this, we are going to start off with a most to least prompting approach to see if that will be effective. So what we will start off with first, he is vocal and communicates, so we will start off with just contriving those situations almost. So when he's playing a game with peers and he starts to get escalated, we will say, hey, do you want to be all done? You can say, I'm all done. And then we will proceed to go towards a more partial verbal approach, I would say. So when he gets escalated, we'll say, what can we say? In response, he will say, I am all done. At that rate, we want him to be able to do that over the course, I will say 5 days, twice a session, with about 85% accuracy, so that we can master it. Once he is done at the partial verbal, we will go to just a gestural approach, if that makes sense. So I will just gesture. We will have a visual model as well, of a picture of saying I'm all done. So he also reads, so it will say all done, so that he knows what that means. So when he gets escalated or before he gets escalated, you feel like he's showing signs that he's all done, we will gesture towards the visual cue, and he will state that he is all done. We want that to also be effective 5 days, 2 to 3 times a session, 80% accuracy before we master that skill. And then lastly, we want him to be completely independent. That is the last approach of our most to least prompting, we want it to be independent completely. He states that he is all done within a peer activity. We want it to be 14 days, 2 times a session before we master that skill. We will also keep that maintained in maintenance for a while, just to make sure that the skill is generalized. I want it to be within different peer activities. We do not want it to be the same activity every time. And that is how we will implement it. And then for my commitment statement, this aligns with me because I am big on promoting self-advocacy and communication. So that is how I will do so is by doing this prompting schedule with my client. Thank you.